everybody. My name's Irene. I'm one of the teachers here at O10. I'm going to try and do a few short sessions of music experiences, and my rationale for that is that often when I go out to centres and assess students, I see a lot of people are really nervous about the whole music process and knowing what they should be doing and how they can be engaging children in that. I don't want people to feel that this is the perfect experience. I'm really just doing this. This is one take, videoed off an iPhone. I'm going to get some of my colleagues involved because we don't have children, and we're just going to have a little bit of fun. So what I'm hoping that you guys get out of this is that it's not really hard, but it is like every other experience that you do with children. There are reasons that you do it, and there are learning outcomes that you want achieved. It's not a matter of just putting on a CD and then hoping that the children will just by osmosis feel the musical concepts. So before we start and before we get my colleagues in and make them behave like children, I thought I would talk to you about some of the general things to keep in mind when you're doing a music experience with children. So the first thing to remember is that you have to enjoy it yourself. If you're feeling worried and stressed and unsure about what you're doing, then the children are just going to think, here we go again, we have to sing some songs. Make sure that you know the songs that you're going to be presenting and know how you anticipate that plan to go. Be prepared, and once you're comfortable with what it is you're going to do, have some fun. Let it go, get down at the children's level and enjoy where the ride takes you. So that's definitely the most important thing. Have fun, and then secondly, be prepared. Don't expect that by reading the words of a song somewhere, you'll now know it and be able to be comfortable to teach it. Never criticise a child if they're singing along. So sometimes you'll have some children who will be very enthusiastic and will sing at the loudest volume and be terribly out of pitch and drown out all of the other children. In those situations, don't criticise that child. Be happy that they're engaging as well as they are, but reinforce to all of the children, we're going to do it a little bit quieter now, or let's listen to our other friends singing as well. But if they're going to sing loudly and drown everybody out, well, let them have a lot of fun, because that's what music is. It's having fun. Children sing at a higher pitch than adults do. So often we'll start singing a song a little bit low and the children won't be able to get that tune and they're not going to engage. So try and lift the level that you're singing at, the pitch of your voice, meaning that you'll be a little bit higher than you might think is comfortable, but the children will engage with that better, and you might even find that you'll be in a better pitch range where you can sing in tune. I did a wonderful course many years ago with a woman who said every single person can sing in tune, and when people were trying who were really terrible, she would make them sing a little higher than they thought they were comfortable with, and eventually every single person in that course was able to sing in tune, but higher than they thought. Some children won't engage. They'll be happy enough to sit on the edges and watch, but they won't sing. And that doesn't mean that you're doing a terrible job. It simply means that they're not yet comfortable with their own voice in that environment. But you might be surprised that when they're out in the sandpit, they'll be singing to themselves the very song that you did with them in the group time. So keep in mind that just because children aren't singing, it doesn't mean they're not engaging and they're not taking it in. Never force a child to have to sing. I think there are many adults in the world that feel very uncomfortable singing in public, and if they're made to sing and forced or ridiculed because they're not, then that doesn't encourage their passion for music. In fact, it goes the other way. So never make a child engage or sing if they're not comfortable with it. Be happy that they're simply there. Now, some of those children might go home and they'll be teaching their families these wonderful songs and never sing with you. So don't ever feel bad about that. The best songs to choose when you're working with children are really short songs that are really repetitive. So there's bits that you go back to, and the children will learn those bits first, and they'll join in with those, and eventually they'll get to know the rest of the songs. So the songs you choose don't have to be really complicated and very long and amazing melodies. The songs that I'm going to teach you today are for really simple songs that every child will eventually be able to join in with you, and you'll be able to do almost every musical concept with those very simple songs. Always try and do some kind of movement while you're singing with the children, because that gets them involved as well, and they're feeling the beat or the rhythm or whatever it is that you're working on, and it makes them engage much better. We're going to, through this series, learn a variety of musical concepts, but you would only teach one of those concepts at a time and reinforce that until the children understand that very well. So for example, today we're simply going to learn the songs, and then next time we have this session we're going to be working on the beat. So always stick with that until the children are comfortable before you move on to the next concept. Avoid teaching songs line by line. It's really boring when you've got a teacher saying, now I'm going to sing one line and you sing the next line, and it drags it out. Just sing and then repeat it. And the children that feel comfortable with it will join in. And the children that don't will listen a few more times. And you repeat it with the children joining in as they are comfortable. Always keep a list of the songs somewhere really visible in your room of all the songs that you've learned. So when you have a brain freeze, and we all have those, you can look very easily at your list and be reminded of the songs that you know with the children. Have a collection of songs in your resource file, and make sure that those songs that you're keeping also have the musical score. That means the notes for the music, because without the music, a song is just a poem. And even though you might think, I'll remember that melody, very likely you won't. And so even if you can't read music, you can see that the notes are moving in a particular pattern, or someone else that can read music will be able to perhaps play it for you on some kind of instrument, and you'll be able to remember the tune. Because remember, songs have a tune, poems don't. Now, I'm going to, in a little while, stop, and then we're going to do a pretend group session with my colleagues. And I'm telling you, my colleagues are all grown up. They're not as old as I, most of them, but they're all adults, so I don't have any children at hand. But some of them have no idea of these songs, some of them do. So the participation is going to be very different. And of course, the way I bring them in would be different to how I would with a group of children, but I'm going to try and use the same strategies, and we'll see how it goes. The last thing I want to say is don't rely on taped music. Many centres see their music experiences going to the CD player, pressing the play button, and then jumping up and down with the children, and then pressing the off button. If we are wanting to teach children musical concepts and getting them engaged, then like every other experience, we need to plan it specific to those children's needs. So if we're working on beat, we're going to be singing with the children and doing our movement at the pace that suits them, rather than a pre-recorded piece of music that is generic for everybody. Now, I love the Wiggles as much as anybody. They studied at the institution I studied at. They are amazing, and they have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful songs. But don't always rely on them to be the educators of your music program. Rely on your own confidence of musical concepts and the songs that you're going to teach the children, and just use those recorded bits for a movement experience perhaps, or just for a little bit of fun. And also, don't have recorded music playing through your play sessions all day, every day. It teaches children to block sound, teaches them to turn off from listening to music. Leave it to when you specifically want them to engage with that music. So that's enough talking from me. We're going to have an experiment now and get our colleagues involved. If it falls apart, that's perfectly fine. You can analyse it, do an observation of my not so fabulous music session, but hopefully you'll learn something and we'll all have a little bit of fun. Bye. Everybody that wants to join in at a music time, come on in the room. If you haven't got time to come straight away, you can come when you can. If you can't stay the whole time, that's okay. Come and join me in the music room and we'll have some fun. Come on, guys. Hello, Aidan. Oh, come and join. Don't call me Miss. I'm just Irene. Come and join me. Oh, we've got lots of people joining in. Get nice and comfy. Oh, beautiful. Because you're big people, if you feel better sitting on a chair, that's okay. And before we go any further, I just want you to know that this is being filmed for our students. It'll go up online. So if you're not comfortable with that, if you don't give permission, please be aware that it's better that you're not involved. If this were children, obviously we would have to have permission from the parents first, but I also think as a sign of respect to children, they also have the right to choose. I would say to the children, guys, I'm filming this because I want my teachers to see how we're doing a music time. And if you don't want to be part of that, you can leave, okay? So guys, I know that many of you know these songs, okay? And I also know that some of you don't. So for our students, this group here is a mix of some teachers who have the same qualification or more, same level of experience as me, so I'm not being an expert here. We have some people here who are less familiar with early childhood settings, so hopefully they don't know the songs and they are actually going to be learning them with me. And we're just going to pretend that we're having a music group time. And if it doesn't go well, that's absolutely fine because that's what happens in the real world. We're just filming, seeing how it goes. So I wouldn't be doing this talking with the children. I would have called them in as I did, and then when they came, I'd be filling in some time with them so that they weren't sitting bored waiting for their friends to come and join us. Copy me. Ah, it's getting tricky, isn't it?
Kicking in the butt.
Now, Mariana,
Yes?
please try not to kick Andrea in the bottom.
She's just too close.
Andrea, you might want to move a little bit closer to me so that you're out.
I'll kick her instead.
Beautiful. Now, just to get ready to do some singing, come and join us, Narosha. Come on.
Come and play. Come on.
We're going to sing an easy song that'll just keep us going. This isn't part of the actual session that I'm doing. This is my introduction, just to get everybody in. Come and join us, girls.
Yeah,
come on.
join.
So it's come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Clap, clap, me. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Clap with me. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Stand with me. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Jump with me. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Shake with me. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Come on, everyone. Sit with me. Okay, we ready? Today we're going to learn 4 new songs. Normally, if we were children, we would only be learning 1 new song. So we'd have an introduction of all the songs that we know, then we would learn 1 new song, and then we would do all our other fun stuff. But today's the first one, and we're learning 4 because we're grown-ups. Can you manage?
Yes.
I hope so.
Cool. Now, the first one is called Aram Sam Sam. Who knows Aram Sam Sam? Oh, only 4. Everybody else is going to have to listen really carefully. And watch my hands, and if you can do it, you can copy. And then when you think you know the words, join in, okay? Aram Sam Sam, Aram Sam Sam, gooly 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 gooly. joined in straight away. Excellent. Now let's see if we can do that really quiet. Ready? Beautiful. You sound very comfortable with that. Let's do it one more time, but we'll do it really loud. But when we do it really loud, we don't shout because that's really, really bad for our throats and it can hurt our throat and mean that we can't speak properly later. So when I say loud, I don't mean shouting. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Ram Sam Sam, Ram Sam Sam, Gooly 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 and a Ram Sam Sam, Rafi, Rafi, Gooly 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 and a Ram Sam Sam.
Beautiful. So that's one song. Very simple, very well. And now we're going to learn another simple song. And I've got to remember, because I'm feeling a little bit nervous here, guys, I've got to remember this song myself. It goes, click, clack, clickety clack. Here comes the engine up the track. Huffing and puffing and puffing and puffing and clickety, clickety, clickety clack. Has anyone heard that before? Really easy. Let's see if you can join it this time. Ready? Here we go. Click, clack, clickety clack. Here comes the engine up the track. Puffing and puffing and puffing and puffing and clickety, clickety, clickety clack. That's tricky, isn't it? Getting our tongues around the clickety, clickety, clickety clack. Will we do that again?
Yes.
Will we do it the same, or will we do it quiet? Will we do it loud? Or just
Without feet.
without feet? Oh, Anna, that's tricky. Can everybody get their feet out? Lucky you're wearing a long skirt, Andrea. Here we go. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click, clack, clickety clack. Here comes the engine up the track. Puffing and puffing and puffing and puffing and clickety, clickety, clickety clack. Oh, that was hard work. Okay, do you feel comfortable with that one? It's okay? All right, beautiful. Now we'll go on to the next one. Does anyone think they've heard this song about clocks? It's about big clocks and small clocks and little clocks.
Yes.
Wheezy's heard that one? Not everybody? Well, let's do big clocks first. Are you ready? We're going to have big clock hands because if you're seeing clocks, sometimes you see on those big grandfather clocks, they have the pendulum that goes over like this. Everybody's stretching. Big clocks make us sound like tick tock, tick tock. Small clocks make us sound like tick tock, tick tock. And the tiny little clocks go tick 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 tock. Can we do that one again? Big? Thank you, Louise, for helping me because I was a little bit tricky with that one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big clocks make us sound like tick tock, tick tock. Small clocks make us sound like tick tock, tick tock. And the tiny little clocks go tick 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 tick. Shall we do that one again? That's a bit tricky, isn't it, that one? Do we want to stand up and do that one? Yeah. Sure. Let's stand up. Can you touch the sky with your pendulums? No. Am I showing too much of my legs? After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big clocks make us sound like tick tock, tick tock. Small clocks make us sound like tick tock, tick tock. And the tiny little clocks go tick 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 tick. Beautiful. Sit down again. Well done. And our last easy song for today is called Jig Jog, and this one's very, very, very old. A really old song that's been sung since even before I was born. Just hard to imagine. What do you think it might be about? Jig jog. What goes jig jog?
Our legs.
Our legs can go jig jog. What animal goes jig jog?
Pony.
A pony, Sylvia. I bet you've heard this song before. I want someone to buy me a pony. Jig jog, jiggy jog, jig. Not too fat and not too bony. Jig jog, jiggy jog, jig. For I want to go for a ride all around the countryside with the jig jog, 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 jig. Do you think you can do that one?
It's a big one.
It's a long one compared to the others, isn't it? Can you either ride your pony or tap your knees like Sylvia did? Could you hear the galloping of those ponies? Okay, so you can choose. You can either ride your pony holding on to the, what are they called?
Reins.
The reins. Or you can tap your knees and jiggle on. Here we go, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want someone to buy me a pony. Jig jog, jig jog, jig jog, jig. Not too fat and not too bony. Jig jog, jig jog, jig jog, jig. For I want to go for a ride all around the countryside. The jig jog, 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 jig. Beautiful. Do you think, we're very careful, this is not a very big room and we have to be very careful that we don't fall over, but do you think that we could stand up and do a little bit of a jig and a jog while we're singing this song, being on our ponies? Can you do that? Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
a few, and I'll do the tapping here.
Absolutely. If you want to sit and tap, you can be the percussion. Sylvia, if you want to be the percussion, you can play my very special Aboriginal sticks.
I have a turn, and then you have a turn.
That's a good idea, Sylvia.
Do you want one and I'll do one? We do it together?
Because when we're working with children, just wait a minute, you two. When we're working with children, we don't introduce instruments straight away. We ensure that they're really, really comfortable with the concept and the songs, and the instruments come later. But we'll talk about that in future sessions. But because Sylvia's grown up and Mariana kind of is, let them join in with the instruments. And everybody else, you ready on your pony?
You have a turn first.
Not too fat and not too bony, remember? Here we go. After 4. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want someone to buy me a pony. Jig jog, jig jog, jig jog, jig. Not too fat and not too bony. Jig jog, jig jog, jig jog, jig. For I want to go for a ride all around the countryside. The jig jog, 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 jig.
I think you should do it in a circle.
Oh, Sylvia, I'm dying.
All right, the other
One more time. Can you finish one more time? Okay, one more time in a circle. Let's go in this direction, otherwise we'll crash. All right, last go. Here we go. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want someone to buy me a pony. Jig jog, jig jog, jig jog, jig. Not too fat and not too bony. Jig jog, jig jog, jig jog, jig. For I want to go for a ride all around the countryside with a jig jog, 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 jig. Okay. Oh, I'm getting chills. Okay. So, do you think that you'll be able to remember those songs for next week when we do something different with them? And we'll remember them again. We'll go around again. Now, normally, as I said, with children, you'll do one new song and one new concept, but because we're squeezing things together today, we did all 4. Now, hope you noticed, this is the students and you guys, but I know you did, we had an outcome. We wanted the children, or the participants in this case, to feel comfortable with 4 easy songs. How do I know that you guys are comfortable? How will I evaluate that, do you think?
We participated.
You participated?
I had some laughing.
Laughing?
We verbalised.
Absolutely.
Body language.
Body language. So that's what I would use to evaluate this experience. Keeping in mind with children, they won't always sing. They won't always participate. Sometimes they'll sit back and they'll just watch. But that doesn't mean that they're not engaging and listening, and that song will come out at another time. We talked about that earlier. Oh, I'm hot, I'm tired. And I also had something to bring everybody in. So while we were waiting for those that could come later, the other children were busy. We cut down the waiting time because waiting time is boring. And when I'm bored, I'm going to do annoying things like push Aiden, or I'm going to pull Andrea's hair. So I keep people engaged. Now we're finished and we're going to do something fun to leave the room together. So I want you all to make a line behind me and we're going to make a train. Hold on to me. We're making a train. And we're going to go back out there to work, and when our students ring, what are we going to be?
A train.
No, when our children ring and we answer the phone, when our students ring and answer the phone, we're going to be happy and nice teachers and admin, aren't we?
Yes.
Absolutely, because we're fabulous. Here we go. I'm a train that goes, I'm a train that goes, and I go and go and go until I stop. I'm a train that goes, I'm a train that goes, and I go and go and go until I stop. Go and stop. And stop. That wasn't me. Until I stop.
Where are you going?
Go and 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 go until I stop. And when I get to your table, you can leave the train.
I'm on
I'm
forever.
a train that goes, I'm a train that goes, and I go and go and go until I stop. I'm a train that goes, I'm a train that goes, and I go and go and go until I stop. Go and stop, go and stop, and I go and go and go until I stop. And I go and 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 go until I stop.